Hello, it's Monika from Crafting with Quilling Lady, and it is time for hashtag FFC Challenge 2023. Today we're going to create a pop-up block card. My first panel is 5 by 7 inches, and my second panel is 5 by 7.5 of an inch. I'm going to score that 7 inches all the way down, and that will give me the card base. Super quick and simple. So today I'm going to show you how to create very easy pop-up block card with no cutting dice. And first we're going to start with the card base. The card is going to measure 5 by 7 inches and it can go flat in the envelope, which I think is a bonus. When this is ready, then you have to choose the design papers of your choice. Today I had a look at my stash and I decided to use my Purple World collection, and I'm going to show you all the design papers and elements to fussy cut here. So if you like my collection, I left the links in the description down below. If you haven't heard about hashtag FFC Challenge 2023, it is hosted by Monika, PaperMona. Every single month, we create a different fancy fold for you. And there are other crafters taking part in that challenge. All the links are in the description down below. So, first I'm going to choose the design paper and I'm going to create a panel that will go at the front of my card. And the panel will measure 4.75 by 6.75 of an inch. So when this is ready, then I'm going to assemble it on the front of the card. I'm going to use my liquid glue because I do have time to maneuver all those elements. So the first part is super easy. Then we have to create blocks. And for my card, I decided to use 5 blocks. And I'm going to show you step by step how to create them. What's really good about any fancy fold, you can use your scraps as well. So first panel is going to measure 3.5 of an inch by 6.5 of an inch. And I'm going to score it at 1.5, 3 inches, 4.5, and 6 inches. Now it is time to fold and burnish all those score lines. I'm using my scoring tool, but you can use a bone folder as well. And that will be the bottom block for my card. Super quick and simple, right? So you don't need any cutting dice to create that pop-up block card. When this is ready, I'm going to cut the excess on the flap and then I'm going to attach it using my liquid glue. What's really crucial about this fancy fold, you have to make sure all the elements are set. The glue has to be set before you move on to the next step. So now we're going to have a cuboid and it's going to give us lots of dimension, which I absolutely love. So when this is ready, then I'm going to attach it to the front of the card, the very bottom. I'm going to use the grid on my mat here, so I will find the center, which I think is really cool. I'm going to make sure the flap inside of my cuboid is at the top. So here I'm using my grid to find the middle point, and then it is so much easier to center my first element. We have to decorate that block. And I'm going to use a slightly smaller measurements. I'm going to give you all them here so you can have a look. So I've got my scoring board and I need 2 panels measuring 1.7/16 by 3.7/16. Super easy to create. So all you have to do, you can use a half, but then just cut a tiny bit off because I don't want to cover the score lines. So you will see all those measurements for other blocks as well using that 16th of an inch. But all you have to do is literally cut a little bit off. That's it. So when those panels are ready, then I'm going to add another block that is going to be at the top of this one. And again, I'm going to use the same colored card. And this panel measures 3 inches by 2 1/4. I'm going to score it at 1 1/4, 2.5, and 3 3/4 of an inch. Again, it is time to fold and burnish all those collines and then use the design paper of your choice. Again, I'm going to use the design papers from my Purple World collection. And again, if you'd like to get it, I left all the links in the description down below. If you haven't heard about hashtag FFC Challenge 2023, as I told you, it is hosted by Monika. Every single 5th of the month, we're going to give you a different fancy fold. And if you want to take part in it, we also have a Facebook group. And all the links are in the description down below. And there are other crafters taking part in that challenge. So then we've got Christine from Christine's Cards and Things, Katarina from Create with Katarina, Jenny from Jenny, Ginger Ninja Crafts, Kerry Mason, and Sabine from Cross Keys Crafts. All the links to their YouTube channels and videos you can find in the description down below. Now it is time for smaller panels here. And this one is 1 3/16 by 2 15/16. As I told you, you don't have to worry about those very precise measurements. You can just cut a tiny bit off. And for all those panels here and design papers, I use my scoring board from Crafter's Companion and a trimmer from Craftstash. So if you'd like to check them, I also left the links in the description down below. So as you can see, for my card today, I decided to go with the purple color. As you probably know, it is one of my favorites. Now it is time for the third block, so it is 2.5 by 3.5 of an inch. I'm going to score it at 1, 2, and 3 inches. Again, it is time to fold and burnish those collines, cut the excess off of the flap, attach it at the top of my second block, and then decorate it. Super quick and simple. I decided to have a twist on this card because very often you can see this pop-up block card on, let's say, landscape mode, but I decided to create a portrait version of it, so I had to create a cake. If you like it, please let me know in the comments down below. Again, I'm going to try to center that element, then fold the flap and make all those elements flat. This way, every single thing is going to be even and that block card is going to go flat in the envelope. So now I'm going to create panels to decorate that block. And as you can see, it measures 15/16 by 2 inches and 7/16. And when they are ready, again, I'm going to use my liquid glue to assemble them. But to create your own fancy fold, you can use whatever is in your stash. And I do encourage you to have a look at all the other amazing tutorials from Monika, PaperMona, Christine, Katarina, Jenny, Kerry, and Sabine. Their fancy folds are simply stunning. So please go to their channels and subscribe if you're new to this challenge. Now let's create our next panel. So this 2 inches by 2 3/4. I'm going to score it at 3/4, 1.5 of an inch, and 2 1/4. Again, you know the drill by now. I'm going to cut the excess on the flap, fold and burnish all those score lines. And when this is ready, again, I'm going to put it at the top of the block and decorate it. And as I told you, this hashtag FFC Challenge 2023 is hosted by PaperMona. All the links are in the description down below. If you'd like to create your own version, please share it on your social media with that hashtag. All the information is in the description down below. And if you haven't joined our Facebook group, I do recommend you do it because there are lots of inspiration there with lots of different fancy folds. So if you create your own, please share it there. Now when this is ready, I'm going to decorate it again using the design paper from my Purple World collection. This time I'm going to create smaller panels measuring 11 over 16 by 1 and 15 over 16. Super easy. As I told you, if you struggle with those measurements, the trimmer from Craft Stash is the best. It literally gives you all those tiny bits. Now I'm going to use my liquid glue. Make sure the glue is set before you move on to the next step. And all we have to do now is to create the top block. And as you can see, they are slightly smaller. And that's what I wanted to achieve here. For my very smallest panel, I've got 1.5 by 2 inches. I'm going to score it at half an inch, 1 inch, and 1.5 of an inch. Now it will be time to create a flap, fold, and burnish. You already know how to do it. So if you'd like to try this pop-up block card, please feel free to do it. And don't forget to share your make on social media using that hashtag FFC Challenge 2023. And as I told you, every 5th of the month, we're going to create a different fancy fold for you. And the December one is going to be very cool. So stay tuned for that. Now, when this is ready, again, I need to create 2 smaller panels to decorate the top of the block. So, as you can see, I've got purple, white, and now I need a purple one again. So I've got 7 over 16 by 1 and 7 over 16. And I'm going to assemble them, and the card is going to be nearly completed. All you have to do at this point to actually add some elements to decorate it even more. And as you saw previously, in my Purple World collection, there are lots of beautiful elements to fussy cut. And I'm going to use some of them here. I really wanted to go with the same color theme here, so I'm going to use very light purple roses. But I also need some sentiments as well. And to do it, I decided to use chipboards from a Polish company. And to do it, I've got that Snip Art beautiful chipboards, and they are all for birthdays. Unfortunately, they're all here in Polish because this card is going to go to someone special in my family or friends. Here I'm choosing all the sentiments here, and I'm trying to place them in the middle. I'm doing the dry run first. I really want to make sure I've got space for every single thing. And a tip for you here, if you use chipboards, make sure you put them at the top of the block. And that's what I'm going to do. So if you have like 3 sentiments, like I've got at the bottom, it doesn't matter where they are placed. However, from all the blocks all the way up, it really makes a difference because if you put them at the bottom, then it wouldn't be very easy to fold the card. So as you can see, I'm cutting the excess of the chipboard here, and then I'm going to use my liquid glue because I will have time to maneuver all those elements, and I really want to make sure they are exactly in the middle here. I'm starting with the top sentiment, which says, on your birthday, have a lot of smile, lot of health, lots of successes, and then make all your wishes come true. There's always time to do it. And happy birthday. Now I'm going to make sure all of them are lined up. As you can see, it folds flat, and that's what I really wanted. I can attach some other elements as well. So I've got some roses and leaves. In the end, I decided not to put any leaves, but I still love them. I really wanted to put them somewhere here. If you want, you can also add some candles on this card, and I think that will be perfectly fine. And to be honest, when I look at this card, it was my wedding cake. I really had a purple one, that lilac, with some white dots. So when I thought about this card, I thought I really want to create something that I already know. So now when all the roses are placed where I want them, the card is complete. As you can see, it stands proudly on a flat surface. There is plenty of space to write your message inside, and it folds flat in the envelope. Super cool, right? So please let me know, what do you think about this fancy fold? Thank you so much for watching and spending that time with me. Don't forget to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you're new. And here you can see some other tutorials by amazing crafters. I really hope you like all of them. Have a wonderful day and happy crafting!